Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio, the recap. These recap episodes are super short episodes that come out on the Thursday after Monday's main show. These are created to encourage you to take action instead of just listening to the episode and consuming the content. You've got to take the action as well. So if you missed Monday's show, please go back and take a listen. You will find the link to the show in the show notes. So this week I was talking to Elisabeth Valentine. Elisabeth is a voiceover artist, a singer, a speaker and performance coach. She's actually been a professional performer since the age of 8 and lends her voice to some of the biggest brands in the world, such as Disney, Apple, Netflix, the BBC, ITV and even My Little Pony, which I thought was pretty cool. Elisabeth also coaches people on their public speaking, pitching, presentation and networking skills. So she knows all sorts of things about becoming a confident and magnetic speaker in any situation. So on the show, we were chatting about all things audiobook, and audiobooks are really on my mind at the moment because when I wrote my first 2 books, I didn't release an audiobook version. I think this is partly because I'm not a consumer of audiobooks. I've had an Audible trial a couple of times, but I don't think I've ever actually got to the end of an audiobook. But I am aware enough to realise that I am probably in a minority now and that audiobooks are becoming way more popular. And I think maybe with people being so into podcasting now as well, that is probably linked to the rise in audiobooks. So if you love Stephen Bartlett as an example and listen to Diary of a CEO, you're probably more likely to buy his book in audio format because you're then going to be just listening to him in the way that you do with his podcast. So I can see why that's popular and I can see why people would do it. And for my 3rd book, which is coming out very soon now, which I will tell you a bit more about very soon, that is going to be available on audiobook version from the off as well. So I am getting on board. I am getting more modern. I am realizing the power of audiobooks. So it was a great opportunity for me to have Elisabeth on the show and ask her about all things audiobook. You know, why do we need them? What basics do we need to get in place to record a great version? And what are the minimum requirements? And a few top tips and tricks. So if this is something that is of interest to you, maybe you're thinking about writing your book or you're writing your book and you're having the debate yourself around audiobooks, please definitely go back and listen to the show if you didn't already. This week's Take Action is going to have to be pretty niche because we were talking about audiobooks, right? And that is a niche within writing a book in the first place. If you are a regular listener of Beyond the Bio, you've probably listened to some of the episodes where we've talked about the power of authoring a book. And I've had a few guests on now that have spoken about how it's really improved and increased their profile and their presence, how it's created business opportunities. And hopefully you're thinking this is a good thing to do and it's something that's on your to-do list, or maybe you're already writing your book already. If that's the case, then I'm going to suggest that your take action point is something that Elisabeth suggested in Monday's show. She spoke about practicing reading some of the text to get a feel for your own voice, to work out how much energy you need to bring to the reading of your book, maybe just to see how it feels as well, because we spoke about whether the author should read the book or whether you should have a narrator, and you probably need to work out which one it is going to be for your own book. So something that you could build into your own book plan at some point. So my take action is going to be to read a few paragraphs of your book, record it, listen to the sound quality, maybe look at Elisabeth's course or her book if you're wanting a bit more direction and support in that area if you're planning on doing it yourself, or reach out to us at Moja. We have a fantastic podcast studio where we also do audiobook recordings. So this is something that we could help you with if you didn't want to do it yourself, and we have a great audiobook package. So a few things to explore, a few things to get going and start making progress with as you move towards publishing your book and including an audiobook version of that awesome. I hope this week's show's been interesting. It has been super niche topic, but certainly really interesting for me and where I'm at with my third book, but hopefully inspiring to get you thinking about the power of books and how audio can complement that offer. As always, let me know how you get on, and I will see you on the show on Monday.